Hello friends, welcome you all. In the previous lecture, we have discussed the role of banks in the economy. In this today's lecture, I am going to discuss with you the types of banks. There are different types of banks. As you know, they have different roles in the economy. The structure they have different from each other. So the types of banks means not like you will say that Bank of India, State Bank of India, then Bank of Maharashtra. These are not the types of banks. These are the just the branches of one type of banks. So the types of banks are somewhat different concept. Types means the according to their structure and according to their functions, according to their role, we can make the different types of banks. So what are these types of banks? Let us discuss first. First is commercial banks. So commercial banks are regulated and managed in India under Banking Regulation Act 1949. Before that, these banks were governed by the Companies Act 1913. So what are the commercial banks? The commercial banks' main motive or main purpose is to make the profit. So it can be a public sector bank, it can be a private sector banks, but the main purpose or the motive of commercial bank is to advance loans and lend money and make the profit. So profit is the basic motive of commercial banks. So as its name suggests, it's operates on the principle of commercial lending or commercial. So it is a totally commercial type of bank which makes the profit by uh, collecting the savings and lending it to the general public for various purposes. Second is the foreign banks. What are the foreign banks? The foreign banks which have the foreign bank's headquarter is in foreign country, but the branch of that bank is in our economy or in different countries. So they are governed by both the countries. They are, suppose in India, they are governed under the Reserve Bank of India and under the Banking Regulation Act 1949, and also they are governed by the uh, the country where the headquarter of that particular bank is situated. So foreign banks in India, for example, City banks are there, Standard Chartered Bank are there, HSBC is there. So foreign banks are the a banking bank operating as a private entity in India, but headquarter in a foreign country is a foreign bank. So this is the second type of so these are also commercial banks. So these are the foreign and commercial banks. So uh, they do the same activities like the commercial banks, but they are from the foreign country. Next type is central banks. This is very important type of bank. Central banking, central bank do not operate for the profit motive. It is the supremo of the financial system in a particular economy. So central bank is the governing body or the apex bank in particular economy. So in India, there is a Reserve Bank of India. In United uh, in the USA, Federal Reserve system is there. In the England, Bank of England is there. In China, People's Bank of China is there. So different country have different name for their central banks. So central banks, the main two works are to print the money or to uh, issue the currency of the country, and work as a banker's bank. Then it is a government bank. So central bank have the apex role in the any economy. So central bank manage the supply of money in a single country or a series of nations. They supervise commercial banks also. They set the central bank set the interest rate and control the whole flow of currency in the economy. And central bank also construct the monetary policy and gives the direction to the economy. So it implements government monetary policy. So it combat or it gives the boost to the economy, or in the period of inflation, means when there are prices of goods and services are rising, then central bank try to control it. That is we called inflation. So central bank have the different role, controlling role of all the banking system in the economy. So the central banks do not work or do not operate for the profit motive. It operate for the overall general welfare or the to stabilize the economy. So the central bank have the very broader functions, or have the very broad purposes to keep the economy's health strong. So it keeps the economy healthy, and it controls whole the money supply in the economy, and it controls all the banking system in the economy. So commercial bank have to take the license from this central bank. So different central bank in every economy in the world have their own central banks. So Reserve Bank of India also uh, worked for Pakistan, Brahmadesh, and India also till 1947. India, in 1938, till 1938, Reserve Bank of India worked for India and Myanmar also, that is Brahmadesh, and till 1948, Reserve Bank of India worked for India and Pakistan also. So central bank, the first central bank is Bank of England, established in 1694. Before that, the the central bank was there, but the modern role model for many central banks is Bank of England, established in 1694. We have discussed in the evolution of banking. So this is the central bank. We have to discuss the separate paper on the central banking in the next semester. So in that paper we will discuss a lot of things about central banks. Let us discuss next types of bank. Exim Bank. The main function of the Exim Bank is to finance export and import. So to develop the external sector, or the to export import sector of India, uh, the Reserve Bank of India and Government of India established Exim Bank in India. So, Exim banks provide financial and other assistance to importers and exporters of the country. Foreign exchange is very valuable, precious for the nation or the any economy. So, Exim banks established for the purpose to give the boost to exporter and importer or overall trade in the from the economy. So it coordinates between overseas financial institution who are working in the other economy or in the foreign economy, and provide the financial assistance, and uh, helps to the international trade. So it is in India, Exim Bank is a specialized financial institution wholly owned by Government of India, set up in 1982 for financing and facilitating and promoting foreign trade of India. So this is the Exim Bank. Next is development banks. So development banks have a very important role in the economy. So development bank also do not have the motive or purpose of to achieve the profit. So these are the financial institutions whose prime goal or motive is to finance the basic needs of the society, and the such funding result in the growth and development of the social and economic sector of the nation. So the development, its name suggests, development is the main goal or motive of these development banks. However, need of the society vary from region to region due to the differences were seen in its communal structure, economy, and other aspects. For example, you will get the idea. Industrial Finance Corporation of India, established in 1948 for the development of industrial sector of India. Then State Finance Corporation to finance industrial sector, established in 1951. Then SIDBI, that is Small Industrial Development Bank of India, established in 1990s for development of small industrial sector. So the motive of these banks to develop a particular area or sector in the economy. For example, Export Import Bank of India also development bank. Then National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development, that is NABARD. You have learned in the rural banking. So NABARD also is the development bank. So NABARD have the responsibility to develop the agriculture and rural sector. So the every and each development bank have the role to develop that particular area or sector. So development banks are basically established for the social and economic development of the nation or that particular part or section of the society or the economy. So this is the in addition to that, there are General Insurance Corporation, that is GIC, LIC, Life Insurance Corporation. These are established development bank for the development of insurance sector in India. Then National Housing Bank is there. It is established to the development of housing sector and to provide the finance, those banks who are providing finance for the housing sector. Then Unit Trust of India, that is first mutual fund in India established. The mutual fund is mutual fund collects small amount or fund by selling an unit to the general public and invest in the bulky amount, and whatever the return gets, it get distributed among the unit holders. So mutual fund is also the development bank of type. So these development banks develop particular area or section of the society. You have a separate paper in the second year in the development banking. So in that paper you will find much more insight into this subject. Then there are Grameen banks in the Bangladesh. This is the very interesting type of banking. So in the Bangladesh, the Muhammad Yunus was there. Professor Muhammad Yunus at the University of Chittorgarh was there. So they have launched a research project to study how to design a credit delivery system to provide banking services to the rural poor and deprived sections of the society or the weaker section of the society. So in 1976, the Grameen Bank originated in Bangladesh. So it is basically a microfinance organization. Microfinance means the small finance for the poor and weaker sections of the society. and they have uh, the primary role of these institution was micro Grameen banking was to provide microfinance and mainly for the community development. Bank founded in the Bangladesh for the community development and to provide microfinance. It makes small loans known as microcredit or Grameen credit to improve the standard living of the poor people, or it works for the community development. So Grameen banks is very interesting type of bank. They have provided without security loans. So they have provided small, very small loans, and when the poorer works, they have returned their Grameen banks loan. So the Grameen banks now became the family of Bangladesh. So it works like a family. So you want to purchase a mobile, then the Grameen bank finances you. You If you want to pay your college fee, then Grameen bank is going to finance you. And after your study, you again repay it to the Grameen bank. So you have the responsibility to help in the return to the Grameen bank, and the Grameen banks have become the family of Bangladesh peoples. And you will surprise that the Amartya Sen and Jean Dries have written one famous book. In that book, they have mentioned that the many indicators, development indicators, child mortality rate, and then per capita income, and other development indicators, the mother mortality rate, and health indicators. So the Bangladesh have achieved in a short period of time very spectacular progress compared to India. So the Amartya Sen and Jean Dries, in their book, they have compared these indicators, and how and Grameen banks have much more role to improve the progress, or to improve the condition of poor and weaker sections of the Bangladesh. uh, so the Grameen bank have this much role, and ultimately, and the for this work, the Grameen banks authorized by national legislation to operate as an independent bank in 1983 in Bangladesh. And in 2006, these Grameen banks and Mohammad Yunus combinedly awarded Nobel Prize in Economics for their great work in Bangladesh to uh, in the improve the standard of living of masses in the Bangladesh. So the Grameen banks is a very interesting type of banks. So the same role model applied in Indian economy, that is we called self-help group, that is Bachat Gat we called it. So the Grameen bank have the role model of these self-help group, or these Bachat Gat in India. Next is small finance banks. These have recently originated a model of financing. These banks service to the very small segment in this different segment in the society, and help with financial inclusion of this section. Financial inclusion means those who are not getting the loans from big banks, they are getting loans from these small finance banks. So the care taken by these small finance banks who are not getting loan from leading or major banks. So they look after the micro industries, unorganized sector, small farmers. Then RBI is the governing, RBI and Foreign Exchange Management Act is the governing body of these banks. So small finance, its name suggests, it provides the small finances to the ignored sections of the society by major leading banks. Next is investment bank. Investment bank is a special type of designed to provide the services to the corporate world. So it provides the advice to the SIC industrial unit. Then it prepared the structure to finance the industrial sector. For example, how much bank loan should take, how much finance to raise from the open market by selling equity or shares, then how much debt should be created from selling debenture and bonds. So these are the advices given by the investment banks, or investment banks gives the advice to business world or corporation uh, on its financial structure, then its operation, and many more areas are there. Suppose for example, if any industrial unit is sick or it is in the loss, how to revive it, how to change the business structure, how to change its human resource management. So all these things done by these investment banks. So mergers, acquisitions is there, financial guidance is there. The main type of bank designed for industrial or corporation sector. Next is correspondent bank. It is a very interesting type of bank. Correspondent banks means it is a financial institution that act as an agent on behalf of other financial institution. So usually foreign banks or correspondent banks may perform treasury services, manage foreign exchange, manage international investment. So take the example, what is correspondent bank? Suppose State Bank of India have some customers in Sri Lanka. So but the customers are very small, so it is not affordable to State Bank of India to establish a separate branch in Sri Lanka. So the correspondent bank, the State Bank of India, what will do, it will open the account in Sri Lankan bank. So Sri Lankan banks collect the savings or the provide banking services on behalf of State Bank of India in the name of State Bank of India. And if the Sri Lankan bank have the customers in India, then the State Bank of India on behalf of Sri Lankan bank provides services to the customer of Sri Lankan bank in India. So these both bank operate as an agent of each other and provides the services under the name of its correspondent bank. So it is called correspondent bank. And when suppose in Sri Lanka customers increased due to good service and goodwill of State Bank of India, then State Bank of India will establish a separate branch there when customer base created. So basically, to create a customer base in the foreign country, the particular bank provides the correspondent banking services. So if State Bank of India want to establish a separate branch in Sri Lanka, so State Bank of India gives his services, provide its services through the Sri Lankan bank. And when customer base created there, then it opens international banking branch in the Sri Lanka. Like that, if Sri Lankan bank want to open branch in India, then it works through State Bank of India. So State Bank of India becomes a correspondent bank of Sri Lankan bank. And when when Sri Lankan bank operates on behalf of State Bank of India, then the Sri Lankan bank becomes the correspondent bank. So these are the correspondent banks. So friend, today I think that much in this lecture. we will discuss the next type in the next lecture. So thank you. If you have any queries, questions, let me know. Write your attendance in the comment box. Try to subscribe this channel so that you will get the other videos and other contents also. Thank you for watching. See you in the next lecture.